Welcome everybody. As I make the appropriate changes to the graphics because I didn't have enough to. Wait, what was that? Oh, there we go. I can move them out. Welcome everybody. It be the 9th of January. And as I put in the bits at the start, why the hell are we having this many award shows this soon into the year? But them's the breaks. It is time to predict the Critics' Choice Awards. You know, those things that were at two different times because they had two different ceremonies, but then they amalgamated them together, and less people give a damn. Or probably. The only probably people that give a damn is the people that actually vote in it and find out that the one that they voted for lost, so then they don't join up the following year, and then it just becomes the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Anyway, welcome everybody. I am here, Ashley, and joining me solo this time is Owen for very good reasons. And conspiracy theories abound. It is not because AJ didn't want to do this.
No. So first off, before we get started, because I have to address the elephant in the room, everybody, for the last several shows, I've been introducing myself with "Hello, Internet." Obviously, throwing a shout out to the beloved Matthew Patrick, who has been Matt Pat on YouTube for 13 years now, barely bigger than us. Like when it comes to that, he's like we've basically been on the same wavelength when it comes to years, and he has a multitude of various theory channels. Obviously, everybody knows him from his FNAF theories and things like that. I got into it because of his food theories. So, because of that, I wanted to mention that it was just made officially an announcement on his YouTube channel earlier today. Like, I literally watched it right before we went live. That as of March 9th, 2024, he is actively stepping down and retiring from YouTube. He will have the rest of the theory channels go on with four others that are going to run the theory channels moving forward. So yeah, I want to say that's not just a theory, that's a shoot. And Matt Pat, we will miss you 100%.
Indeed, wow.
Made sense to start it that way since I got really big into Matt Pat back in the day, and when the FNAF movie came out, it was like, this is the only reason I know what Five Nights at Freddy's even is. So yeah, I've been watching, like binge watching. Oh my god, like crazy! I binge watch food theory like crazy, and that's how I found out about like food wars and things like that. I just watch like food stuff, not because I'm like a foodie or anything. It's just entertaining. So yeah, that was one of the things that I wanted to start the show out with. Was a shout out to Matt Pat. I know he will never see this video, but yeah, it's deserved 100%. And yeah, hopefully him and his family will enjoy life after YouTube.
Right. The Critics' Choice logo is now on the screen.
I basically killed time so you can create the graphics.
Well, no, it's just click, add image, open the file, resize it. Had to resize the screen as well because obviously it's 3 of us rather than 2, so we are officially full screen.
So another thing I want to mention, Ashley alluded to the fact, no, there's no meme with like trying to connect the dots here. No, AJ is not able to join us tonight. He has predictions. He will continue predictions, and I have to probably very awkwardly read said predictions, which are above my head right now. So he sent me 2 emails, one which I have currently and one I will get very soon, which is going to be his movie predictions. But yeah, he's going to do a little bit of a blurb from the reason why he decided to choose what he chose. So yeah, the actual prediction game will continue, even though it's just Ashley and myself tonight. We are, and I'll make this announcement, we are back here next week, and we will be talking all about the Critics' Choice on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, yes, we are a literal week away from it, so it makes sense that we're about ready to do something else next week that I wasn't sure we'd have to do already, and that's going to be try to predict the Oscars. Because the Oscars are literally the week after for nomination morning. And that means on the 21st, we're talking BAFTAs. And on the 22nd, we're doing our guild discussion. So yeah, there's a lot of content here from Popcast Network in the award season of 2024.
Obviously, the guild stuff will basically just be PGA, DGA, and SAG.
Yes.
Because WGA is sort of falls out of the window and everything. Although there is something I want to bring up SAG here, because I think it's, considering it's one of the big stories, at least that I've seen on social media, with a lot of people unhappy. Announced at the CES Electronic Expo, that traditionally always happens at the start of the year. SAG has come into a deal with, I can't remember what the company is, but regarding AI voice work. It seems to be some sort of agreement, so actors can be, actors that are SAG affiliated can have their voices used for sort of AI things, of which there's a lot of people within certainly the voice acting community that don't like this move, but it was supposedly done with their approval. Let's see if I can get the actual article about it from Variety to get the wording right. Yeah, SAG signed a deal with an AI voiceover studio that sets terms for the use of AI in video games. It informed consent for the use of AI to create digital voice replicas, as well as requirements for the safe storage of digital assets. There's a lot of people feeling, though, that this has the chance of basically, what they mean by AI is, procedurally generated characters that would use AI to sort of interact rather than, give an actor a voice script to say. And they'll do that instead. So in theory, a lot of these NPCs that you get in games will have AI dialogue and AI voices rather than have the people do it themselves. Which I thought that's what the whole SAG deal with the studios was all about, which is why the strike happened. So I'm very confused. Oh, the deal pertains only to digital replicas using AI to recreate the voice of a real performer, living or dead. The only problem is that are they going to try and find a way for that not to be, their consent, living or dead?
Well, they've been doing that hologram gimmick for quite a while too.
Yeah, they just announced Elvis is the next to step into the fray, which is supposed to be more akin to the studio. I think you said it's when they have Richard Burton do War of the Worlds. Or a la, didn't they have Liam Neeson doing it for a bit?
I think so.
As well.
I mean, if this stuff ends up flying, there is a possibility we could have full-on concerts. Like the Sphere in Las Vegas comes to mind immediately, of long dead performers performing again for live audiences, and people would love it.
Yeah. I still have concerns there about how it may shaft people, but
Sure.
we'll see. Anywho, to the chat. Spencer says, sorry guys, I missed the Globes. I totally forgot about them happening. Apparently not that many people did, because apparently the ratings were like up 50% from last year.
This is why. You cannot tell me otherwise. That's why football ratings are up. This is why.
That being said, I don't know whether it's because because I don't think NBC showed a football game on Sunday afternoon, at least that I'm aware of, like before,
Really?
to the same extent that CBS does. So, yeah, gotta get that out of the way. That's annoying me. Spencer says, "Congrats to AJ on the Barbie placement."
Am I like Mr. Cellophane here, like more so than usual? I said the same thing, Spencer. We both just pivoted at the last minute. AJ was a lot more vocal about it, but yeah, we've both been saying it since August. You can go back to watch the videos. But yeah, we felt really justified when that was announced, even though we pivoted at the last minute. But kudos to Brian for keeping his predictions solid the entire way around. He never wavered once.
That's why I'm hoping that as many times as possible Barbie wins screenplay, which means it's even harder for us to work out who's winning the Oscar. Because everyone else will have it as original and like, huh?
It's not original, so there. Continue.
I know. Spencer also asked if we've seen Society of the Snow. I haven't. Goes on Netflix.
I am. Well, obviously it doesn't have a theatrical run, so that's a big no. But Spencer, I'm not sure if AJ has or not. I know he has been trying to catch up on things. He's been really busy working on things to the point that we're actually getting a movie review potentially tomorrow. So look for, like he said last night, 2023 discussions about movies will be stuck on these shows, but 2024 movies are what's going to be reviewed.
Just checking. Josie says, "Hey team, I've just finished reaching Tortured Souls by Clive Barker, a novella with such vast world building, but under 100 pages." Josie's also finally seeing Poor Things on Thursday. I was supposed to see it today, but the brother didn't want to ride his bike off of the train in the rain, but that's all good. Thursday is the day.
Heck yeah, Josie. We're going to have a nice conversation next week. I saw it for the second time this past Friday, and it hits even better the second time, even when you know what's coming.
Instead, today, in addition to reading Clive Barker, I watched The Other Side of the Underneath and Peter Weir's The Last Wave. Other Side of the Underneath was crazy. A therapist looks into the mind of a woman diagnosed as a schizo and finds not madness but tortured sexual guilt crossed with the societal taboos. Okay, that sounds about right.
Sure.
Funny thing is that The Last Wave is a storm movie, and I watch it on a stormy day here on Long Island. And then asks our favourite Peter Weir film.
First, before I don't want to bury this, it's funny you mentioned that you watched it on a stormy day. So, fun fact, my dad, many years ago, I was at Universal way before I moved here, and I was just coming off Twister, Ride It Out, when I got a phone call from my stepmom, and it was to find out that while I was in a fake tornado, my dad was in a shoot tornado. Stuck in his truck during a tornado. Thankfully, he was fine, just extremely shaken up, and he will literally never be the same again. But I thought that was really ironic that I was leaving a fake tornado as my dad was in a real one. Favorite Peter Weir movie?
Yeah. Oh, that's tough because...
No, it's not. There's one answer to this, and it's easy for me. It's The Truman Show.
I would also consider the one that I have possibly being with it is Dead Poets Society. I would edge it to Truman Show for sure, but...
Dude, we talk Truman Show all the time on here, just in loose comments here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said my life is like a movie, quite literally, and soon to be. If you know, you know. The thing is, it really feels that way, and it feels like the Truman Show could be a shoot. Honestly, it really is. Like somewhere in other planets, people are watching our every move, like it's a television series. Like there was a movie that came out earlier this year called, I believe it's called Landscape with Invisible Hand, that most people didn't even see. Most people forgot about it. Has kind of that same concept basically, but the fact that people are watching what they're doing, and if you're likable, they'll give you money. But if you're fake about your relationship, you'll go to jail for it, and they'll take your money back and make you work for it. It was a really interesting concept of a movie. I mean, it's a movie that I kind of just somewhat forgot about, but yeah, it was fine.
With
Society
society,
of
with
Yep.
Society on the Snow on Netflix, and in honor of me watching Last Wave, our favorite disaster survival film or nature survival film? I kind of want to say Touching the Void.
I see that on there.
That was a really fascinating documentary. That's the sort of the only one that really stands out for me, arguably.
Maybe Alive.
Yeah, well, of course, that's basically Society of the Snow.
I have to throw a shout to All Is Lost. I really dug that.
Yeah. The only thing I remember from that is just Redford just going, "Fuck!"
Yeah, it's always fun.
Favorite Richard Chamberlain performance? Which is kind of crazy because I don't feel he did that much. In terms of stuff that I'm aware of. Because obviously a lot of his big gigs back in the day was being Dr. Kildare and everything.
Yep.
In the 60s.
He was the firstborn on screen.
He didn't do a huge lot. He did those random Alan Quatermain films because they decided to do a sequel for them, but
yeah,
I probably edge it to Towering Inferno because there was a lot of good performances in that.
I'm I don't need to elaborate. I'm not going to. King Arthur in Spamalot.
Well, you know, he can sing, so that's fair. Last night after the Globes discussion, I watched Lunatics: A Love Story and loved it. Directed by Josh Becker, a friend of Sam Raimi's, and starring Ted Raimi and Deborah Foreman from Valley Girl. Fun fact, Ted wrote the original version of Jokes of the Mighty, which first played during For Him the Bell Tolls. Josh Becker is to Sam Raimi who Robert Rodriguez and Eli Roth are to Tarantino. That's probably fair. What are the chances of the ties at this year's Critics' Choice, and in what category? I mean, I don't know what category, but I feel there might be a tie. A lot of these races seem to be somewhat close, but it leaves the option.
So, spoiler alert: I didn't go with any ties because that's kind of like playing roulette when you could go red or black, or you decide you want to just throw all your money on just one random number. Not going to do that. I got beat too bad at the Globes. I want to try to be safer this time.
Also, I'm not dishing out half points to make my spreadsheet even more complicated than it already is. So,
fair.
You know, if we manage to get one of a tie, we get a point. We predicted that award correctly. It also went to somebody else. I can't help it if the factory produces way more trophies.
But Ashley, Josie does hit the nail on the head, and I can concur with this. It would be quite funny, haha, if we get a Barbenheimer tie at one of the awards on Sunday.
Yeah. Although I think with like the categories that are there isn't a huge amount that I see them being that competitive against each other.
Definitely not. I went very safe on my predictions, and I feel like when I got finished with them, which was literally 5 minutes ago, I am. It gave me a thumbs up for some reason. I didn't even do that.
Special effects.
Sure. The thing is, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at this point. I really don't. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Josie still hates Taste of Things title.
Had Taste of Things been a bigger contender, I would have liked to have seen Taste of Poor Things headlines. I still think Taste of Things is a stupid title. Hey, it's a semi-stupid movie. Well, sorry, the French Academy are stupid. They could have had a chance to, do the good move. Josie also adding Tonight by Smashing Pumpkins was on the radio.
Excellent song.
Can you tell him to stop ruining the NWA, please? Thank you. Followed by Call Me When You're Sober by Evanescence. So that is an appropriate combo there for Billy Corgan. Yeah. Can you sober up, please? Why the hell are you booking Burchill on a show in the year of 2023 for a title? The hell? Especially on a weekend where there's like 7 different shows that are happening that day. Sorry, wrestling rant over.
Fine by me.
Then again, from what I have heard from Corgan, he's really in trouble in terms of wrestling. I guess that's something for me and Owen to discuss afterwards.
As long as my boy gets the title back, that's all that matters.
Parsnip saying I thought the elephant in the room was AJ not here because I missed the hello internet thing. No.
No, I've been doing it for a while, Parsnip Burger. I do think that you come in a little bit later than the start of the show most of the time, so you probably miss it or just gloss over it at some point, which is fine. I've been doing it since I've been watching the Matt Pat videos again, so.
Parsnip reminding us that DGA, the Art Directors Guild, and the audio nominations were yesterday.
Yep.
I think we also had Set Designers Society, and there were some that came in today as well. I've already put them in the spreadsheet, but I can't remember.
SAG goes live tomorrow too, which I'll be watching that because that's the one we actually have to pay attention to, boys and girls.
We have Issa Rae and Kamal and Johnny doing the announcements on the Instagrams. And then PG nominations as well on Friday. In terms of the Emmys, we won't be covering it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it influences... Well, I say it influences our SAG predictions, but of course... The Emmy results are from sort of like 4 or 5 months ago, so there's stuff in their categories that might have won 5 months ago that when they're presented now are going to look weird. I mean, case in point, let's look at the Critics' Choice. No acknowledgement whatsoever for Ted Lasso, but is in everywhere else. That despite the fact that everybody lauded about the final season, so weird.
Correct.
Parsnip also said, didn't it not air on a network last year? No. 2023, it was on NBC. I think. I don't think they did it just on Peacock. I know the feed that I might have had was the Peacock one, but I think even Paramount streaming service Paramount Plus had like television commercials in it rather than. Let me double check, because luckily it's in my history. Yeah, it was on NBC and Peacock, so it was both. It's just I had the Peacock feed, so I just kept hearing the NBC dun music over and over and over again. 50% ratings increase makes sense if comparing it to not airing. No, I'm trying to think like what it was going up against, if anything. Or maybe just people don't watch NBC. I don't know. That being said, the ratings it says here was 6.3 million. But I'm pretty sure the number that came was 9.4. So it's only sort of okay. It's 50%, but that ain't dramatically different. And who knows whether that, I don't know when the peak rating is, because I haven't looked sort of into the details as when it was the peak or whatever, because that could have been the people that were watching right at the start as the NFL switched over. Keep in mind, before the pandemic, it was 18.3. So we are nowhere near the touchstone that, we had before the pandemic. So,
no.
Pinch of salt. Pinch of salt. Oh, Parsnip says their favourite Peter Weir was Picnic at Hanging Rock. Josie says a nature survival film that I quite like is The Edge, starring Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. That's a pretty solid one. Parsnip says Food of the Gods, and for Disaster, Titanic. I can't take that seriously just because so much stuff happened with that. And for those people that did survive, there was the good old artistic representation of certain things that happened that weren't as accurate as it may have been. So Josie rates the Thornbirds for Richard Chamberlain, as does Parsnip Burger. Amazing adaptation of an amazing novel, one of the best novels ever written. Bri says hi.
Hi, Brian.
Critics' Choice is the least of my favourite of the precursors, says Josie. My favourite's probably BAFTA. Good.
BAFTA's more fun. BAFTA actually matters.
BAFTA's always interesting as well, because they're sort of the one that actually gives a damn about Rising Star and everything.
They also roll the dice when it comes to shaking the awards race up. There's always at least one person that comes in at bat, like AJ's been talking about all season. Mm-hmm. Like, it comes down to it, there's always one or two people or things that come into play at BAFTA that a lot of people, most of the time, one of us were predicting all along, ends up jumping for and switching up the race a bit. So, I mean, no matter how it's going straight arrow at the end, the BAFTA is always the seismic activity that changes from the solid to the earthquake. I don't know why I made that analogy. I just did. Continue.
Fair representation, I'd think, though.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong, on Honesty Taste of Things, I'm sure it's really good. I hear it's great. I just think the original title's better. Yeah.
Sure.
Billy Corgan got married recently. Don't bring that up.
Oh boy.
That's the only reason the NWA got a TV deal, which doesn't exist anymore because of James Mitchell and doing drugs. Yeah.
Sorry, I was sniffing.
And the same show, Billy Corgan shouts "Go to hell," and I'm like, yes, you probably should. The only reason that they got the deal is because part of the deal was Billy Corgan's going to film his own wedding, and they want the footage, I guess reality TV style. TMZ! Fun fact is
Billy Corgan is now Bam Margera confirmed.
No, I sort of respect Bam Margera.
I respect him getting his life back together for sure.
Fun fact, Corgan's birthday is St. Patrick's Day. Amy Lee from Evanescence is the same birthday as Jamie Foxx, Dick Van Dyke, Taylor Swift and the late Christopher Plummer.
T.
Well, you know, that's
He's
the
not
trend.
here,
That's
so
the
I
trend
do
now
it.
because it's Yorgos Lanthimos saying, "Hey, it's Bruce Springsteen. We have the same birthday." And Bruce Springsteen was like, "Why the hell am I here?" Oh, and today was the anniversary of Rancho Deluxe opening from 48 years ago. Favorite Jeff Bridges performance? Oh,
This is tough. Okay. The dude, obviously. Rooster Cogburn in the True Grit remake, which is far superior. You know what you can do with your hat, Marion. And I loved him in Crazy Heart.
ooh. I'd probably go as well with Lebowski, but I think it was him being so good in Iron Man that like set the
Yeah.
ground for how the MCU was gonna spin. And I think he was brilliant in Hell or High Water as well.
I loved Hell or High Water.
You know, because you know he wasn't the sort of typical hero because he sort of understood, you know, what was going on. Um, he you know he realized he sort of sympathized with the situation that they were in, but at the same time, you know, was like, well, you shouldn't be doing it, but I understand, sort of thing. It's a shame we haven't really had anything else from David Mackenzie, at least directing since then. I think the only thing else was Outlaw King from like a few years back.
Yeah.
I guess he's done sort of television stuff, but nothing in the cinema. Because I've, you know, I really like Young Adam and Hallam Foe and Starred Up and all that stuff. A lot of his stuff. So, Parsnip says voice work for The Last Unicorn and Tron for live action. He was very good as a narrator in Lost in La Mancha as well. Whatever awards Paul Things wins, they should play a Bruce Springsteen song or Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. Why was Bruce there? Was he nominated or sang for a nominated film? Yes, he wrote the song from. Oh, hang on.
She Came to Me.
From the. Oh, let me go to the Globes nominations again.
She Came to Me is the name of the song, Ashley.
No, that was the film.
That's the movie that's from.
Yeah, the song is Addicted to Romance, but yeah, he wrote it. That's why he was there.
And it is the credit music for She Came to Me, a very exceedingly boring movie that I had to set through earlier this year with Peter Dinklage and Anne Hathaway. That I really hated most of the characters in the movie because they were extremely hateable parents.
Parsnip also noting that Bridges was in. I think that's Jagged Edge. I can't see because I've got a stupid heart emoticon over the top of the text.
So do I, but I can still see it.
Oh, and the Blu-ray is out of print. That's a shame.
Advantage
There's a lot of
146
things that should be in print that aren't.
Right.
To be fair. So,
12 hours later.
I think. Oh, well, hold on! I realised I've got to go to the description and say the usual line. If I can press the enter key, predictions start at. Why is that not? Let's say 36:30. That's close enough. So, I think for this, I'm gonna have the list up.
Yes.
So I can read out the nominations. But the issue is, I don't know what order we're doing it in because AJ always likes to move it around. So,
I'm just doing it on the wiki order. That's the way I made it.
oh, okay.
I
Well,
did TV at the bottom all the way to the movies at the top.
But I mean, we're going in what order AJ has given them to you. So.
Yeah, so he did exactly what I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We haven't like gone sus on
Not
it.
that I'm sure of. Well, we'll get there.
So I might have to move about on my sheet or whatever. So, let us begin the Critics' Choice predictions. I'm guessing we're starting with Best Comedy Special.
Yeah, we're going right ski to left ski from the bottom all the way to Best Picture at the top. So that's the order that we have.
Right, so for Comedy Special, we have Alex Borstein's Corset and Clown Suits, John Early's Now More Than Ever, John Mulaney's Baby J, Mike Birbiglia with the Old Man. Birbiglia, okay. For the Old Man and the Pool. Is that the sequel to the Old Man and the Gun?
Nope.
Trevor Noah's Where Was I? And Wanda Sykes' I'm an Entertainer.
So it looks like I'm going to play the part of AJ right now.
Yeah.
I have verbatim what he said here. Best Comedy Special literally just simply says Mulaney. Maybe because he's the only one I watched, but I also imagine his candidness about rehab will want to be commended.
I went with Trevor Noah because I'm trying to work out, because unlike with the previous times when we've had this comedy special, I didn't hear a lot of buzz about any of these. To be fair, I didn't hear a lot about buzz of any one of the ones at the Globes, bar the Chris Rock one, for kind of obvious reasons. So, yeah, this is sort of, the dartboard is getting a lot of darts on it, and it just ended in the back of somebody's head.
So with AJ going with John Mulaney for Baby J and Ashley going with Trevor Noah for Where Was I, obviously I make this statement every single time. Now I know AJ's predictions, I have them in front of me, but I did mine quite literally before we went live, like I alluded to earlier. And although it kind of came back to bite me at the Globes, I'm going to go with Trevor Noah here as well. So Ashley and I are going to go with Where Was I?
Okay. Next, Best Talk Show. So, from out of nowhere, we have The Graham Norton Show, joining the usual suspects of Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Kelly Clarkson Show, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Late Night with Seth Meyers, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
AJ's simple response, when in doubt, John Oliver.
I think if we look at the history of this, I think he's won for like the last 2 years.
Yep.
And he won it one time before.
Yes.
It says a lot that a lot of the stuff, you know, when you look at the history of this, most of it is Jon Stewart or John Oliver. As in, it's not the talk show stuff, it's the talk show style stuff that also has sort of that interesting journalism, which is, the big thing of John Oliver's. So that's why I always say John Oliver with this, because some of the stuff that he does there is kind of, there's a reason why I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel, because I wait for the shortened version of his like investigative, longer form pieces. Throw a light on a lot of things that people are not aware of. So.
Okay. And actually, I do also concur. And Ashley mentioned it, and it was actually one of my talking points. So, yeah, I actually had a talking point for television. Ashley blew the spot. Yeah, this would be the third year in a row John Oliver would take this. And, yeah, why not? Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Now to foreign language series, of which I'm trying to remember what the one that's supposedly British is. Cause
Oh boy.
then again, I guess it's on Apple TV Plus, so I wouldn't have had any chance of seeing it anyway.
I've got one for it. There's a British one on here. Partially.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because it's on Apple TV Plus, I wouldn't have been made aware of it either way. So
That's fair.
So we have South Korea's Bargain, South Korea's The Glory, the UK and Italy co-production of The Good Mothers, Germany and Poland's co-production of The Interpreter of Silence, France's Lupin, and then a couple of others from South Korea, Mask Girl, and Moving.
So AJ's prediction for best foreign language series, again, verbatim, I appreciate this. Mask Girl, I guess. I don't know.
The only one that I heard anything about in terms of, like, at least popular on Netflix and stuck around for at least a little bit was Lupin.
Okay.
Also, partially probably because it's kind of video game character related as well, because there has been sort of Lupin video games from back in the day. I think, one of them, I'm trying to remember. There's like a Lupin game on the NES which basically had nudity from like 1988, so like pixels galore. But I heard good things about Lupin, and I think it's getting a second season, so.
So is that what you're going with?
Yes.
Yeah, I concur. I'm going with Lupin as well.
Then to animated series, where we have The Monolith is Bluey, along with Bob's Burgers, Harley Quinn, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Star Trek Lower Decks, and Young Love.
So it's interesting because I completely forgot when I did my notification here about Harley Quinn running this year because I wasn't paying attention, and it's interesting that that's the case. But I'll go with what AJ said here. AJ's response, Bluey, because it's universal for all ages. I mean, not the company Universal.
Maybe it is the company Universal, we just don't know.
We would love to have a part of the company. I'm sure I don't have to speak for the company in saying that, but I'm sure it's probable.
See, this is where I'm conflicted. Because I went all in on it, I think, the past 2 years, and it didn't get any of them. So for that reason, and because it's a shame it didn't play up to its title.
Ah, okay.
But I have to go with Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. It stayed true to the comics. And, brought the cast back that I think, circumstances I didn't think you were going to get all of them back in any way, shape or form, even for voicing stuff. I thought that was beneath Brie Larson. With all her lessons in chemistry and depending how you feel about the Marvel thing, what she did with Captain Marvel, but yeah, that's what I'm going with.
So, yeah, I alluded to Harley Quinn winning last year, and What If won in 2022. Bluey has always been a bridesmaid, but never a bride. I think this is the year it finally happens. I'm going with Bluey here.
I mean, I'd like it to, but I got burned too many times that I don't know whether, it always makes it in, but I don't think people have the gumption to, like, give it to a kids thing. Even though adults enjoy it as well. So So then we get to the one which I have no clue. This is the ultimate dartboard situation. We have supporting actress, an actor, but specifically just in TV, movies, or limited series. So, on the actress front, we have Maria Bello for Beef, Billy Boulay for A Small Light,
Good lord.
Willa Fitzgerald for Fall of a House of Usher, Arja Naomi King for Lessons in Chemistry, Mary McDonnell for Fall of a House of Usher as well, and Camilla Monroe for Daisy Jones and the Six.
Well, again, verbatim what AJ put on here. Lewis Pullman. Oh God, I read the wrong one. I'm an idiot. Maria Bello because beef.
I concur. I mean, it's just I didn't hear much about. I'm surprised Fall of a House of Usher is in there, because I'm pretty sure everybody said meh to that, but okay.
So we're just gonna cut out the middleman and just do 3, 2, 1. Everyone saying Maria Bello.
Everyone do the beef.
I like that. Let's go.
Do the beef.
Because I already screwed up. Let's just forget about that.
And then on the supporting actor front, we have Jonathan Bailey for Fellow Travelers, Taylor Kitsch for Painkiller, Jesse Plemons for Love and Death, Lewis Pullman for Lessons in Chemistry, Lee Schreiber for A Small Light, and Justin Theroux for White House Plumbers.
So, again, going back to what I accidentally said a few minutes ago, Lewis Pullman, I guess, looked pretty strong when he popped up in a clip at the Globes.
I went with Jesse Plemons, because I think that's the only thing that Love and Death might have a chance of getting recognised in.
I also went with Jesse Plemons.
Especially considering... Oh, wait, I just realised... Elizabeth Olsen didn't even make it in.
Nope.
Which is intriguing. Then we transition to the lead performances in TV, movies, and limited series. So for actress, we have Caitlin Dever for No One Will Save You, Brie Larson for Lessons in Chemistry, Belle Powley for A Small Light, Sydney Sweeney for Reality, Juno Temple for Fargo, and Ali Wong for The Beef.
So we'll list AJ's prediction, which just simply says Ali Wong.
I have also gone with The Beef.
So this lineup is awesome on paper without watching any of the shows. But at the end of the day, it's all about the beef.
It's all about the... I can't do that because I don't like Megan Trainor, so... I can't do the joke that I want to because...
I got this joke better. Beef!
I got some bad beef. And then for Best Actor in TV, Movie, Limited Series, we have Matt Bomer for Fellow Travelers, Tom Holland for The Crowded Room. Again, I'm pretty sure that wasn't that good. David Olawayo for Lawman Batteries. Tony Shalhoub for Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie. My question to that is it though? Kiefer Sutherland for The K Mutiny Court Martial. And Stephen Yeun for The Beef.
AJ just simply says Stephen Yeun.
For The Beef. I am the same.
I am 1,000,000% not going to get bitten this time around. I'm also going to say Stephen Yeun for Beef. It's going to be a boring award show, ladies and gentlemen. or we're not going to get any points at all. You decide.
I am intrigued as when it comes to SAG, whether they get Shalhoub in musical comedy. Because Tony Shalhoub always makes it in some shape or form, at the SAG Awards. So now to the big categories pertaining to those things, if I can click it correctly on the thing and scroll up. For Best TV Movie, we have K Mutiny Court Martial, Finest Kind, Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie, No One Will Save You, Quiz Lady, and Reality.
So AJ is going with I'm going to word it his word, the K Mutiny.
The one that got a lot of buzz, that at least that I noticed, and whether it's held on to it from now, was the whole No One Will Save You.
I thought about doing that, but I wanted to be really safe this time around, and I might have been too safe.
So I have gone with that because there was enough buzz with it. I think there's enough chance to maintain it.
I think it's definitely my second choice if I had to pick another one. And with Anyone But You and the fact that she's just popular anyway, with what Sydney Sweeney has done this year, Reality is a possible chance too. It's hard to bet against Tony Shalhoub, especially if it is the last time we're going to see Monk on screen. But yeah, I mean, I went with the Kane Mutiny Court Martial for literally no reason at all. Just made sense in my head.
Just that's how they do their tribute to Freakin'.
Yeah, and honestly, Ashley, we want to get on the chat real quick. Completely forget about that. I'm sorry about that, everyone.
No, there isn't a huge amount. It's just.
I can knock out a few if you'd like me to.
Yeah, because I need to grab my dinner. So.
Fine. So I'll play Garth for a time being. I'm having a good time. Not. Anyway, if you know, you know. The comedy special isn't on Gold Derby, says Parsnip Burger. Apparently not. I don't know. I haven't put my predictions up on Gold Derby yet. Bridges played a rapist apparently in Jagged Edge. So yeah, check that out. Yep. That's what happens sometimes. Critics' Choice TV Awards ballot 2024 has none of these categories. I'm confused. Lanthimos has the same birthday as Jason Alexander, Janelle James, Anthony Mackie, the late Henry Silva, and the late Mickey Rooney. Apparently, Josie is having lentils and a veggie burger for dinner tonight. Interesting. Parsnip says supporting actress limited Aja Naomi King for Lessons in Chemistry. Actor limited Jonathan Bailey for Fellow Travelers. That's supporting. Ali Wong and Stephen Yoon are both Parsnip Burger picks as well. So yeah. And I will continue to read awkwardly AJ's predictions that I have in front of me for the rest of the show tonight. So yeah, keep it in chat, everyone. If you're here live, or then feel free to leave your commentary, leave your predictions on the chat as well. And if you are watching us archive, leave a comment or leave your predictions in a message, and we'll get to those. Ashley is back.
I like the fact with Parsnip saying, several categories missing from Gold Derby. Yet they're the only one that actually gave me an idea as to when Kieran Culkin got his award. Apparently Wikipedia doesn't want you to know that Kieran Culkin won a Golden Globe, or who presented it to him. Or they hate Kevin Costner that much that they just had him give the award to the woman. I don't know.
Parsons, thanks for telling me that. I haven't made my Gold Derby predictions yet. I'm going to lock those in after we go off the air tonight. So thank you for telling me that, because I've lost lots of points because of that in the past. So thank you for letting me know that not all the categories are involved.
So just double check, you went with Reality?
No, I actually went with the Kane.
Oh yeah, was it? Yeah.
Reality is my my Hail Mary here. I think it's the
Yeah.
sleeper here. I feel like it's a possibility, and I think if it's going to go anywhere else, it's going to go to No One Will Save You.
I need
And
to. I need to
weirdly
work.
enough, weirdly enough, I know we talk about Ali Wong being the juggernaut, but don't miss out on the opportunity that Caitlin Deaver or Sydney Sweeney can take that award. Or Brie Larson, for that matter. Lessons in Chemistry apparently was really big from what I saw.
Yeah.
At least in other predictions and awards bodies. I do not claim to know anything about television. I never will.
And then limited series.
Yes. Speaking of,
This could be quick. I'm literally control Ving in the things in the appropriate spots immediately. But we have Beef, Daisy Jones and the Six, Fargo, Fellow Travelers, Lessons in Chemistry, Love and Death, A Murder at the End of the World, and A Small Light.
AJ just simply says beef.
I will also simply say Beef.
Yeah, definitely beef. Definitely.
I still don't know. I still don't know whether they actually confirm they're doing a second season of Beef. Whether it actually is just gonna stick as one series, which would be good, rather than drag it out. That's why I'm worried for Squid Game season 2, but we'll see.
Oh, what?
So now to the comedy. For supporting actress in comedy series, we have Paulina Alexis for Reservation Dogs, Alex Borstein for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Janelle James for Abbott Elementary, Cheryl Lee Ralph for Abbott Elementary, Meryl Streep for Only Murders in the Building, and Jessica Williams for Shrinking.
AJ's response? Streep, I guess. Considered one of the Abbott Elementary women, but whatever. I like how AJ comes off like Orange Cassidy in his predictions.
Yeah, because I didn't feel confident about anybody in this because they never showed up. Well, I guess because of the Globes being supporting actress in anything, and I guess comedy wasn't that strong this year. I'll just go with Meryl Streep because she didn't do it. Spoilers for the season, but
Oh, wow. Honestly, when I first looked at this, and I feel like this is when you start second guessing yourself, and that's how you screw up your predictions, and I do this all the time, as everyone knows. The first name I jumped to here was Paulina Alexis for Reservation Dogs. That would be my Hail Mary here. That's the one that I'm thinking, like, you never know. Alex Borstein's won before. Cheryl Lee Ralph has won before. Obviously, Janelle James is in this. Shrinking is solid, and Air Force Harrison's getting the honorary award later. So, I mean, technically speaking, it's like it's on people's minds. So, weirdly enough, I'm going to go with the double. So, we're going to repeat from 2023, and I'm going to say Cheryl Lee Ralph for Abbott Elementary.
then for supporting actor in a comedy series, we have Phil Dunster for Ted Lasso. Oh, so it did get one nomination.
Nice.
That, what the hell? That's okay. Harrison Ford for Shrinking, Harvey Guillen for What We Do in the Shadows, James Marsden for Jury Duty, Eben Moss Backrack for The Bear, and Henry Winkler for Barry.
To AJ, almost said Marsden, going with Eben Moss Backrack.
I did go with Marsden. There's a reason why he must be showing up in a lot of these lists, and again because of the fact that nobody in here was in the Globes. And do I have a note of what's in the Emmys? Briefly, yeah, a fair few of them are in the Emmy list, but not all. but the big contenders are. So, yeah, I'll stick with Marsden.
And I'm also going to concur with AJ. I'm going to go with Evan Moss Backrack because you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit in the wind, you don't power bomb Billy Kidman, and you don't bet against the bear.
Then for lead actress in a comedy series, we have Rachel Brosnahan
Speaking
for
of,
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary, Ioda Burry for The Bear, Bridget Everett for Somebody Somewhere, DeVary Jacobs for Reservation Dogs, and Tasha Leone for Poker Face.
AJ simply says, Iowa Debris.
The Bear.
Yeah, the irony that she played April O'Neil is not lost on me, longtime viewers. Yeah, I'm going with Io as well. It's going to be a good year for Iowa Debris, honestly. I really think so. And I feel like she's just going to improve as an actress, and she's going to get bigger and more meatier parts as we progress.
Yeah.
And she deserves it, too.
And then,
if you haven't seen Bottoms, watch it. It's fantastic.
And then for lead actor in a comedy series, we have Bill Hader for Barry, Steve Martin for Only Murders in the Building, the only one. Martin Short doesn't even get record. Maybe this is the one that Steve Martin shows up to.
Oh,
Kyan Novak for What We Do in the Shadows, Drew Tarver for The Other Two, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, and DeFaro Wunatai for Reservation Dogs.
Once again, like I said last night, tough shite, no refunds at gmail.com. If you know, you know. Yeah, I'll go with AJ's prediction, which literally simply says white, I suppose.
Yeah, go with the Von Erich.
Texas Tornado for the win.
Always bet on Von Erich. Nothing will go wrong, honest.
2 years in a row, ladies and gentlemen.
And then, if I get the right thing. Oh, they do list it there. Okay, and I have to scroll all the way to the top. For comedy series itself, you can kind of guess where we're probably predicting, considering what we've already said. I am control Ving it right now. We have Abbott Elementary, The Barry, The Bear, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Poker Face, Reservation Dogs, Shrinking, and What We Do in the Shadows.
The Bear.
Is that AJ's or yours or both?
Yes. This show's going to go like 15 minutes. I love it.
A little from column A and a little from column Z. So, yeah. All round The Bear.
We're going to get a lot of points or lose a lot of points on this show. I can tell already.
And finally, we get to the drama stuff. So, for supporting actress in drama, we have Nicole Beharie for The Morning Show, Elizabeth Debicki for The Crown, Sophia DiMartino for Loki, Celia Rose Gooding for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Karen Pittman for The Morning Show, and Christina Ricci for Yellow Jackets.
This is AJ. Not to sound condescending, but since many BFCA voters are somewhat younger, I'll say Sophia DiMartino for Loki.
Oh.
That's a swing and a half.
I just went with Debicki because I think Debicki is sort of the Ana de Armas. I mean, okay, she didn't win last year, but I feel that she still gave a very good performance despite the script going in some bloody weird directions. I'm guessing because it's encompassing the series that's just finished, rather than... Because that's weird, because I don't know whether the window is, because, like, considering the last 6 episodes came out, like, 19th of December, whether that's included, or whether it's just for those 4 episodes that got released in the summer. So we might have Debicki coming back again next year for Season 6, Part 2. It's literally like Breaking Bad. Find some way to churn it out for another year. But yeah, I went with the Becky. I think she's a great actress. It's just it's a shame that the writing she got for the Queen, considering how she looked perfectly like Diana, it was perfect casting. But at the same time, some of the stuff that Peter Morgan gave her, he's better than that. But it's about performance, so I think that's why it will hold out.
Ashley, I think after we finish television, we can go into the rest of chat.
For sure, that was my aim.
It's weird because for supporting actress in a drama series, my gut wants to go with Christina Ricci, and that helped so well at the Globes. But it's a different governing body, so it may not backfire this time. But I'm not going with that. The morning show is clearly beloved, but I don't see, again, it's that whole canceling each other out thing. I kind of see that happening. AJ swung for the fences with Loki, and I'll give him credit for that one, even though I wrote it Lowki. If you know, you know. Thing is, I can't go against the crown here, and I feel like I should, but I'm not gonna. Elizabeth Debicki.
What sense are you doing in the Barker hangar in Santa Monica? Then for supporting actor in drama, we have Khalid Abdallah for The Crown, Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, Ron Cephas Jones for Truth Be Told, Matthew McFadden for Succession, Ke Huy Quan for Loki, and Rufus Sewell for The Diplomat.
AJ says, for the same reason as DiMartino, I'll say Quan.
Because young people like Peep Show. I will stick with my prediction throughout pretty much all the television stuff, even the Emmys that we don't cover. I'm saying McFadden's probably going to take it.
I mean, I'm a big Almost Famous mark, and I want to again go with Billy Crudup when I have done it before a few times. But again, love for the morning show, but I don't think it necessarily goes any further than nominations. I don't think it's going to go with any wins here. Spoiler alert. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Matthew McFadden as well.
For lead actress in a drama, we have Jennifer Aniston for Morning Show, Anjanou Ellis for Justified, City Primeval, Bella Ramsey for The Last of Us, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, Sarah Snook for Succession, and Reese Witherspoon for The Morning Show.
AJ says, again, same reason. I'll see Ramsey.
I should say that, but I'm sticking with Sarah Snook. That's a tough one, though, because that's one I could easily see happen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hard to go against Jennifer Aniston. It's hard to go against Reese Witherspoon. Again, I stress, the morning show has visibility, but it's not showing any winnability here. Sarah Snook was last nominated in 2020. So it makes sense that this is the year that she takes it. So yeah, I'm going to concur with Ashley on this.
And then for Best Actor, we have Kieran Culkin for Succession, Tom Hiddleston for Loki, Timothy Olyphant for Justified, Pedro Pascal for Last of Us, Ramon Rodriguez for Will Trent, and Jeremy Strong for Succession.
So if we're playing along on our home game, everyone, as I become the game show host I've always wanted to be my whole life, tell me, just based upon what predictions have been so far, what you think AJ is going to say here, based upon what he said already. And then I will tell you what the actual answer is.
This is interesting because, like, if we're going with the youth, there's two that stand out.
Okay. It's a fun game.
I'm trying to work out whether he goes for the pop culture stuff or the uber pop culture stuff. Um, phew. I think he's gonna flip the script and just randomly say Jeremy Strong.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh.
Nope. And I'm sure a lot of you were thinking, based upon predictions, he was going to say Tom Hiddleston because of the love for Loki. Nope. He said Pedro Pascal.
That's why I didn't want to say anything, because that's what I said as well. Um,
Well, if you said Pascal and AJ said Pascal, then I would love to go with the person that is going to be in what looks to be one of my most anticipated movies of this year. But as a wise man once said in a baseball movie, I'm not gonna. Kieran Culkin, Succession. Jeremy Strong won in 2020. Spread the love 4 years later.
I do appreciate though that they have acknowledged that there's no point in putting Brian Cox in here. Unlike other awards bodies. I'm not naming names, but I'm naming names. And then for drama itself, we have The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, Loki, Morning Show, Star Trek Strange New World, Succession, and Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty.
What the heck?
I said it, I think, when we talked about it in the nominations. I hope that wins, because if all of a sudden Warner Brothers realizes, oh wait, people like this, maybe they might commission the third series that seemed inevitably to come, rather than just leave it as nothing.
AJ's going with The Last of Us.
I'm sticking with Succession, because I think just people are hoping that the series 2 of the television version of The Last of Us, is good. As compared to... I feel they could do some trickery there that people would not object to.
And I am also going with Succession. To the chat!
Yes. As I scroll to where the film is. Right. Where did you leave off?
We are
Yorgos
on...
Lanthimos. Birthday? Oh no, there's several categories missing. I'm not sure. So yeah. Parsnip has for Best Limited Series Beef. There's always room for more beef with other people. Yeah. True. Comedy Supporting, Meryl Streep and James Marsden. Josie mentioning that Henry Winkle has a memoir book at the library in the bestsellers section.
Nice.
Io Debiri and Rami Youssef would be in a rom-com together. As long as it's a good one.
I enjoy that.
For comedy leads, we have Jeremy Allen White and Io Debiri for Parsnip. I guess they only just announced it. The Career Achievement Award's going to Harrison Ford.
I said that in the show like a few minutes ago. I called him Air Force Harrison. Thanks to the movie Foolish, I always will.
They haven't put that on the... Hang on. Do I need to refresh? Oh, it suddenly just showed up in the...
And America Ferrara's getting a special award too.
Well, we knew about the See Her stuff, yeah, but the Harrison Ford stuff happened literally within us doing this. Parsnip also has a comedy series going to The Bear. Josie's saying Sophia DiMartino's romantic partners with Will Sharp from White Lotus Season 2 for about 15 years.
Good lord.
And he has the same birthday as Josie's sister-in-law of September 22nd.
Josie, that's the day after my birthday.
And then for the drama stuff, Parsnip has Debicki and McFadden for the supporting, Snook and Culkin for the leading, and Succession for itself, and for TV movie Reality. Josie mentions that Kerry Russell's in Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. And as of this year, Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys will have been together for a whole decade. With the Scorpio-Aries connection, similar to Joaquin Phoenix and Rooney Mara. So, I'll leave it there, because obviously Parsnip is now getting into where we go next. And where we're slightly more interested. But only just a little bit, because it's the Critics' Choice.
Now I got to get to AJ's predictions here, which is another email, and we are ready to go.
So I'm guessing again we start from the bottom up.
Yes.
So for foreign language film, we have France's Anatomy of a Fall and The Taste of Things. Japan's Godzilla -1 and Perfect Days. Spain's Society of the Snow. And the UK's Zone of Interest.
AJ's prediction, Godzilla.
I'm going to stick with Anatomy of a Fall, but this Godzilla definitely has enough traction with the fact that it's still doing good at the box office, both here and in America, which is brilliant to see.
Part of me wanted to go with the Zone of Interest here, but yeah, I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to keep it, and it's a movie I really love, and I want to see it get all the traction and awards that it can get. I'm going to stick with Ashley's prediction, Anatomy of a Fall.
Right, transitioning to animated feature, where we have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and Wish, for some reason.
Yeah, it's great seeing Turtles on here. And it belongs on this lineup. I don't know if it'll make the Oscar lineup or not. AJ's prediction for Best Animated Feature, Spider-Verse, though once again, I'm not ruling out The Boy and the Heron.
I think this is a chance for Spider-Man to, get an award at least within the race of a televised award, so I'm going with that.
Definitely not my choice. And yeah, The Boy and the Heron could start picking up speed and just then the race could be over. But again, it's visibility. Visibility can lead to actual awards and actual importance. But yeah, if you want to talk about critical acclaim, you want to talk about the only movie in this lineup that has any way, shape, or form ending up in the big 8 categories of the Oscars, and that's Across the Spider-Verse.
Then to Best Comedy, where we have American Fiction, Barbie, Bottoms, Holdovers, No Hard Feelings, and Poor Things.
As of Friday, I'll have been able to see everything on this list. I like and or love everything on this list, with the notable exception of American Fiction. I don't see a reason I'm not going to like it. You literally have some of my favorite movies of the year on this list. Bottoms is fantastic, and I'm a sucker for Jennifer Lawrence, so No Hard Feelings is kind of a personal thing. Silver Linings Playbook, everyone knows. AJ's prediction, tough call between the 4 big players, but I'll say Barbie.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Barbie as well. But I could see somehow Bottoms making it here. And maybe Poor Things if they don't feel that they want to put it as a picture contender or ensemble or whatever later on in the night.
I am actually going to take half of what you just said, and I'm going to predict it myself. Um, I love Barbie. Everyone knows that. I'm a big Greta Mark. Everyone also knows that. But yeah, seeing Poor Things for the second time made me realize, even especially Mark Ruffalo, as I will continue to call out throughout the entire season, justifiably so. And soon everyone will know what I'm talking about, including you, Josie, in a couple days. Poor Things. Out. Laugh out loud hilarious. But you can't go wrong for any of these, honestly. I would not have a problem with any of these winning. They're all justifiable winners. There's always one that I'm like, nah, this doesn't belong here. This movie's trash. No. These are six, at least five I know of. One that just the trailers alone got me laughing out loud. So technically speaking, I feel like all six of these are viable contenders and justified winners.
Yeah, at least with, as usually when it works out with one of these, one of them is like, well, that's just here to make up the numbers.
Yep.
You know, it's something that's middling, but everything got pretty positive reviews off that list for a change.
Yeah. Anyone but you, I think, would probably be in that lineup if it didn't come out so late, or maybe next year's race if it didn't come out so early.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting sick of all these, having seen, like, good quality adaptations filmed from the stage and whatever, I don't think we need all these various different modernized versions of Shakespeare. There's a reason why people are still performing them 400 years on. Don't get me wrong, stuff like 10 Things I Hate About You and things like that are good, but I've seen contemporary Much Ado style things already.
Sure.
And probably do a better job. So, VFX. We have The Creator, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
AJ says visual effects, Oppenheimer following the hullabaloo surrounding the Oscar omission.
I'm actually going to go with Spider-Man, because I'm just intrigued as to how people will feel to special effects in an animated film. But
that's interesting. We're splitting the vote this time around because usually, and so far tonight, I've gone a lot with Ashley's prediction. Nope, going with AJ on this one. So yeah, one more for his favorite movie of the year and one of mine. Oppenheimer.
Then to hair and makeup. We have Barbie, The Color Purple, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Priscilla.
Speaking of Silver Linings Playbook. Maestro. Sorry, Coop. That's as close as you're gonna get right now.
Sorry, Coop. You ain't winning this one either. I have Poor Things.
Yeah, it's funny because I always bring this up, like, what makes makeup and hair? If it was just makeup, it would be this. If it was just hair, it'd be this. Obviously, the smart money would be... Actually, the smart money here should be on Barbie, but I'm not going that route. I'm actually going to go with Poor Things as well. Just Defoe's face alone is enough.
Well, there's obviously effects as well with, you know, Bella's form.
Oh my god,
well,
yeah.
So.
Well, especially at the beginning of the
movie. For best, just double check. Yeah, we are going in the order, at least that I have it in the spreadsheet. For best original song, we have Dance the Night from Barbie, I'm Just Ken from Barbie, Peaches from the Mario film, Road to Freedom from Rustin, This Wish from Wish, and What Was I Made For from Barbie.
AJ just simply said, "What was I made for?"
She's the bad guy. I have that as well.
Yeah, 22-year-old's gonna have 2 Oscars. It's insane. Just think about that for a sec, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, shout out to this being Dua Lipa on this lineup as well. And it's always great having Lenny Kravitz on here and Ariana DeBose. Say what you want about Wish, but the song's solid, even though it's just what it is. I'm Just Ken was the meme song, and I thought that it would start getting some critical acclaim, and it actually did a bit. But yeah, this was Billy's award to win since day one, and I truly believe that now. I think this is going to be the run for the rest of the season, and justifiably so. It fits perfectly in the movie, and it's a great song by itself.
And then for score, we have Jerskin Fendix for Poor Things, who I only just realised actually he features in the film. Michael Giacchino for Society of the Snow, Ludwig Göransson for Oppenheimer, Daniel Pemberton for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Robbie Robertson for Killers of the Flower Moon, and Mark Ronson and Andrew Wyatt for Barbie.
So AJ's specific prediction says, tough call again, but I'll stick with another Göransson victory. So one more for Oppenheimer.
I'm going with Oppenheimer as well. Just because I don't think... I mean, Ludwig did get recognition for Black Panther, what, nearly 10 years ago? Wow. I feel old.
Don't even start on that.
So I'll stick with Oppenheimer on that, but that I can foresee probably the only ones I don't think would have a chance is Society of the Snow and Barbie. Between the other four, I don't have a four-sided coin. So
I'd love if Fendrix was in this conversation because, like AJ alluded to last night, that score just gets stuck in your head and you don't ever want it to leave. Love that music so much, especially like AJ alluded to, the credit music. Killer should be more in this than it actually is. And that's kind of an ongoing theme of the year so far, at least. We haven't got to our guilds yet, but something tells me Killers is about to take a huge fall. But I hope I'm wrong. But I hope I'm right for my prediction, so it's weird because I'm kind of like, I'm torn. But that being said, yeah, Göransson.
He's Natalie and Rudy, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
But only when I watched the stream yesterday did I realise that song's actually a cover. So, to editing. Oh no. Great, they've re-changed the format of the Wikipedia page.
We are in production design and costume design right now.
Production design. We have Saltburn, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Barbie, Poor Things, and Asteroid City, because they do it on there alphabetically by who gets the award rather than the actual film, which is not confusing at all.
Production
or at least originally
design.
they did.
AJ says, been dreading having to predict winners for this in costumes all this year. The battle between Barbie and Poor Things, and these two will be a bloodbath. Critics' choice, I'll say Barbie.
I'm weirdly going with Saltburn. Just for getting everything right in terms of the sets, so...
In a perfect and just world, this would go to Asteroid City. Or at least this would be in the actual conversation. I really hope Asteroid City at least gets one nomination on Oscar morning, and I may shoot for the fences when we do the video next week and actually predict that. But I haven't quite decided yet because I do not need to lose another Oscar season, and I'm going to try not to, even if I have to go extremely safe the rest of the season. But it's weird because, again, I usually say that I don't see AJ's predictions, but I can literally see them in front of me, and I can change them at will, but I promise you I'm not. I thought this was going to be a big, grand play. And Ashley beat me to it. I also had Saltburn. Just the look of it. Just the look of the movie in general. But to be fair, some of the scenes in Poor Things, like shooting everything, like as you're looking through a peephole, like you're not supposed to be watching what is going on. The way, like the low shots to the ground, the way that it's shot is just phenomenal. And I want it to do great things. There is not a wrong answer on this list at all. Not one bit. I think the production design on all 6 movies is fantastic. And you cannot pick a bad winner here. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Saltburn too, actually.
And then for costume design, we have, if I try and work out what this is alphabetically, Barbie, The Color Purple, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Poor Things, and Wonka.
AJ's predictions reads as follows. Costume design, much as it would make sense for them to at least split these between the 2 aforementioned, I'll say Barbie doubles up in this area here.
I went with Poor Things on this one.
I mean, you're not wrong. Not even close. I hate Napoleon, but the costumes are fine.
Yeah.
Again, I hate Napoleon as a movie, but when you talk about pure costumes, once again, I can't say one bad thing about any of these 6. The Color Purple is probably the weakest on that group for sure. It's more like contemporary costumes to the time frame of the movie. But the absolute insanity of Poor Things, Wonka, and Barbie, and then something very like played down like Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, they all make sense. Napoleon makes sense for the type of costumes and the style that for that time frame as well. But yeah, Jacqueline Duran just jumps out at me like right away. I saw that name and I was like, yep, that's gonna happen. Barbie's winning. You want to go to the chat before we get editing?
Just another thing as to why I just went with Poor Things is, I'd just like to see somebody else get a nod, not just Jacqueline Duran over and over. And I feel Holly did a great job with Lady Macbeth, which is the only other place that she got an award. So, that's why I want new blood in this. I don't want the same names over and over again.
See, this is a year that I'm gonna hate being wrong because I don't like losing points, but I'm gonna love being wrong because I win either way. Either I get the point and it's a movie I like, or I don't get the point and it's a movie I like. We're not gonna have a situation like last year. There's no way. Unless I outright hate one of the movies I haven't seen, and I don't think I'm gonna hate May December. I don't think I'm gonna hate Maestro. And I don't think I'm going to hate the Zone of Interest. And I absolutely like and or love everything in contention right now. Because I don't see there's any way I'm going to dislike American Fiction either, honestly.
So for film, okay, I'm trying to work out what we haven't covered and what we have because.
Hold on, I got this.
Parsnip's order is there. So for VFX, Parsnip has Oppenheimer. For production design, Poor Things. For song, What Was I Made For from Barbie. For score, Oppenheimer. For hair and makeup, Poor Things. For costume design, Barbie. And for comedy, Poor Things. For animated, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And for foreign language, Anatomy of a Fall. But I like Zone of Interest more. If Anatomy loses and Zone wins, I'll be happy to lose the points. I think
that's exactly what I said, Parsnipper. I totally concur.
Because the other two, we've purposefully left here because this is where we get to the sort of Big Ten. Even though at this point it's actually 12. Because of acting ensemble and young actor and actress.
Okay, go ahead.
So for editing, we have Air, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Maestro.
AJ simply says Oppenheimer.
I went with Thelma Schoonmaker for Killers of the Flower Moon because I don't really want to try and doubt Thelma Schoonmaker. Even though I now hear that whether this is in revenge or something, Scorsese's next film is 18 minutes long.
And it's still not getting nominated for animated short. I really want. I like their idea a lot, greatly. I would love to go with Killers of the Flower Moon here. Honestly, the movie I really want to go with on here is Air. Because it needs love, it deserves love, it should have love, and it's one of the best movies of the year. But I think it just kind of got forgotten. Damon's here, and it's here in editing, and it got screenplay, thank God. But, I mean, it's not very visible here, which is a shame. But it's lucky because it's actually here, so that proves that it's in the conversation. It's not being discussed, but it's in the conversation. It may be like a moot point at this point, but it's in the conversation, and I'm fine with that. Again, can't go wrong with any of these. I'm also going to go with Oppenheimer here, but I have reservations, pun definitely not intended here, about this going to Poor Things. And I wouldn't have a problem with that either. Any of these 6 could technically win in one way, shape, or form. Just because something wins editing doesn't mean it's going to contend for picture. We've had that happen before, too. Editing is important to have if you are trying to win the Oscar, but this is the Critics' Choice Awards, so different bodies completely. I would love to go with Thelma Schoonmaker here, but I can't. I'm going to go with Jennifer Lame or Lame or how it works for Oppenheimer.
I now know why Scorsese's next film is only 80 minutes. Which will probably pique your interest as well, Owen, given you are a TV mark. He's directing a Jimmy Kimmel hosted reunion entitled An Afternoon with SCTV.
Oh God, yes. Bring it on. Let's go. Right now.
Shaw, O'Hara, Moranis, Eugene Levy, Joe Flaherty, Dave Thomas, Andrea Martin, all reuniting. And Scorsese's directing it.
Look that up to my veins right now. I need it like I need Diet Pepsi. Oh my God, that sounds fantastic.
And because it's Scorsese, it's on Netflix. So
please get nominated for something so I can actually see it.
And then to cinematography. We have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Saltburn. The twist, of course, being it's technically only 5 people getting nominated because Rodrigo Prieto did both Killers of the Flower Moon and Barbie. One of the most grey and brown films versus the most not grey or brown film.
Most colorful film of the year, without any question or doubt. I don't know. Some of the scenes that take place outside in Poor Things are pretty colorful, especially when they're on the cruise ship, or the not really cruise ship, but the ship. AJ says simply, another very hard one. Feel like I should really say Oppenheimer, but I'll say they throw this to Poor Things. I already have regrets. This is a tough one, honestly.
Yeah.
There is no wrong answer. I can't say anything about Maestro, but from what I've seen, there is no wrong answer here.
Yeah. I'll stick with Oppenheimer, but that literally, it's the added complication of the same guy being in there twice, and whether we have that happen at the Oscars.
So I wanted to take a wild stab and go with Saltburn here, and it wouldn't be wrong. Prieto being involved with two movies makes me feel that either A, it's going to cancel itself out, or one of them's going to win. So that there's literally no other option. I haven't seen Maestro, so I can't justify anything there, which means I haven't even seen trailers for it. So I'm completely blind about Maestro. I just know about what it's about and who's in it. That's all I know. Want to go with Poor Things here, but again, I'm going to concur, and I'm going to go with Oppenheimer as well.
Then to the screenplays.
Yes.
For adapted.
I have to find it because he changed the order. Hold on. He put ensemble next, but I mean,
for adapted,
I don't know if backwards. You're good adapted.
Well, I feel like because acting ensemble was part of the acting, like.
Right, I know.
So for adapted screenplay, we have Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, All of Us Strangers, American Fiction, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, and Killers of the Flower Moon. Oof.
This is a super tough one. Adapted, AJ simply says Poor Things. Maybe I'm overestimating critics' choice, but we'll see.
Ooh. I'm sticking with Poor Things as well, but I'm honestly wondering because of the demographic that AJ has talked about, whether Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret actually has a shot of like winning here and getting its one chance at possible glory.
It does. So let's break it down. I love Killers. AJ loves Killers. We have to bet against it. We don't like it. It's not winning year. Nolan will win something at the Critics' Choice, but it's not screenplay. All of Us Strangers has an outside shot. It depends. I wouldn't put anything past him to go with Cord Jefferson here. Because don't forget, they did nominate Sterling K. Brown, which is something that no one else has done quite yet. Well, I mean, no one else in that's going to be televised. But yeah, I do also keep jumping back to that Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, saying last night that it has a very good opportunity to slide in and take that, oh my God, how did that get in spot that the GP see every single year on Oscar nomination morning that some of us have been saying for a long time. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. We always knew it was going to get it at some point. Oh, it actually made it? Cool, we were right. That's awesome. Yeah, that being said, I'm going with Tony McNamara.
That rug was there and it was just yoink.
I thought about it. I'm not even going to lie.
You Barry Keegan'd it. You were metaphysically dancing naked to Sophie Ellis Bextor's Murder on the Dance Floor.
That song is actually popular again, and it's actually back on the charts.
Why do you say again? It never got in the charts the first time around. That's the sad thing. It did. Yeah. It did over here. We knew taste. You didn't. No.
You're not wrong in a lot of ways. You also gave James Corden a career, so there you go.
That's when he did good stuff. Then he went to America and realized, oh wait, I don't know what else to do other than Gavin and Stacey. So.
See, in Hollywood, you fail upward, but apparently he failed downward. So, I mean, there you go. He literally failed.
Well, considering how many voiceovers he's done in the past 5 years, I don't think he's failed.
dear God. We'll go to screenplay, knock out the ensemble and young actor, actress, and then we'll go to chat.
Yeah. So for original screenplay, we have. See, why are the other ones? Oh, is it just by chance that? Wow, it's just by chance that. Oh no, Killers of the Flower Moon wasn't in alphabetical order. Damn it. So
It's like
we
my
have
prediction.
Air, Barbie,
Yes.
The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives.
Well, I've got 2 blind spots on this one. And everything else is some of my favorite movies of the year. AJ's predictions: The Holdovers has done extremely well in this category throughout Critics Awards. Not that that means anything, but I'll say it anyway. Could also easily be Barbie. He's going with Pain via David Hemmingson.
I'm gonna edge it to Barbie just because of the demographic sort of deal. I'd really like it if like Past Lives somehow got in here. People actually acknowledge, solid stuff. The stuff that I guess wouldn't be the demographic of however many YouTubers that are part of Critics' Choice Awards. I don't know. They never declare numbers, so it's like I don't know. Is it 17? Is it 17,000?
So, May December could be in this. I want Air to be in this. Air deserves to win this. He's not going to. Maestro, I like AJ's conversation piece about Bradley Cooper and makeup. So we go down to my 3, which are The Holdovers, Barbie, and The Outside Shot for Past Lives. Well, going against Greta feels wrong in every way possible, especially for me. And I love The Holdovers, and it's doing very well. Randolph is pretty much walking away with everything, and I think that we may get a sweep out of it. I'll say that now, might as well. Or could kill it dead in its tracks, who knows? Doubtful, though. But yeah, you mentioned it, and it's the first thing that popped into my head, and I feel that in order for it to gain more visibility throughout the season, it's got to win something, at least to kick everything off. I'm going with Celine Song here. Might be a sucker bet. I'm still doing it.
So for acting ensemble, we have Air, Barbie, The Color Purple, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Oppenheimer.
So AJ says narrowed it down to Barbie and Oppenheimer, but I'll say Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I will. Part of me wonders whether The Color Purple could make it in here.
I'll get to that. Don't worry.
And possibly Killers of the Flower Moon, because there's a lot of supporting roles. Of course, there's a lot of supporting roles. It's 3.5 hours long. Then again, I guess Oppenheimer's 3 hours long, so that's why I'm sticking with Oppenheimer. But that isn't as clear cut as I think it could be.
I've been saying for the longest time, when we were on is The Color Purple going to do anything outside of Brooks? Because Brooks seems to be kind of a certainty at this point. But again, we're proven wrong every day. People keep floating out, like Fantasia Barrino and Taraji P. Henson. They keep floating around, and no. Just no. Just forget it right now.
No.
We've been saying forever and a day that if there was anything to be done with The Color Purple, it was going to happen in SAG Ensemble. And it seems every day that it's losing more and more traction, except for Brooks. That seems to be the only certainty that's left anymore. But then again, I can't say certainty because we don't know what's going to happen next week. None of us do. That being said, I love this to go to Air. I want this to go to Air. it needs to go to air to give it a consolation prize for existing and being amazing. I'd like this to go to Killers, because if Gladstone is going to start losing to Emma Stone on a regular basis, this is going to be the consolation prize for Killers that it deserves, because it deserves to have visibility and it deserves to win at least something. The Holdovers will do just fine. I think Payne is screwed now because of the way everything happened with Bradley Cooper. And now apparently Jonathan Glazer's in here now, so not whether we want it or not, or if you do want it, more power to you. But it kind of messed up the predictions a little bit. So the Holdovers is definitely here. Barbie's definitely here. Again, if Barbie wins acting ensemble, my friend gets an award. So that's awesome. Super excited about that. Go Ashley. My friend Ashley, also from the UK. But the best acting ensemble. AJ is also seemingly not going to get his wish of Emily Blunt winning an award. Why don't we give her an award anyway? Let Oppenheimer get ensemble and let her get up on that stage.
To Parsnip's predictions then for those remaining ones. So for editing, Parsnip has Oppenheimer. The cinematography, Oppenheimer. For ensemble, Barbie. And then the other one, which I forgot because lost track. Young actor and actress, where we have Abby Ryder Fortson for Oh You There God It's Me Margaret, Ariana Greenblatt for Barbie, Calla Lane for Wonka, Milo Machado Grainer for Anatomy of a Fall, Dominic Sessa for The Holdovers, and Madeline Univoyles for The Creator.
AJ says Dominic Sessa, shout out to Grainer. Do not underestimate Fortson. No, God, no. We've been talking about Margaret forever, AJ. I 100% agree with you.
I gave a nod to Milo.
Oh, my God. This is a tough one. Because there's a heart and head conversation here to be had. And they actually don't involve my personal life for a change. They actually involve literally my personal win and a performance I really enjoy that is going to win. So everybody knows how much I love Licorice Pizza. And Dominic Sessa comes to mind as very familiar in his performance and the way he does everything. So yeah, I'm getting serious vibes. So I think that might be why I would want to go that route. AJ's not wrong. Do not discount Abby Ryder Fortson here, because Margaret has been proven time and time again to be that movie that could possibly slip in out of absolute nowhere. That a lot of so-called experts see and they're like, well, I didn't think it would go that far. There's so many other great movies. And I think, yeah, there's always great movies. At the end of the day, someone's got to lose, someone's got to win, and someone's got to be just happy to be here. Watch out for Margaret on Oscar nomination morning. Mark my words. I'm not calling it. I'm just saying it's a very distinct possibility. The best performance here is Grainer, without any doubt, any question. There is nobody that even comes close. And I really, 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 really want to go with it. But it had to be safe. I'm going with Dominic Sessa.
And that is also what Parsnip predicted.
Sessa? Yeah, I saw that too.
And then the other ones as well: adapted screenplay, Poor Things, and original screenplay, The Holdovers.
I will say right now, Ashley, if something happens and Grainer does win, I will be very, very, very happy to lose that point, and I'm sure AJ will as well.
So then to the the 6.
Okay.
So for supporting actress, we have Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Nyad, Julianne Moore for May December, and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
AJ said Jodie Foster.
Wow. Okay.
Obviously, I'm kidding. Randolph, not that it even needs to be said.
Yeah, I think the divine train continues.
I think it's the closest thing we're going to have to a sweep this season. I don't think there's anything that Randolph is going to lose. But then again, I could call it the Christoph Waltz performance, but Waltz beat Best Actor in various award shows. So his supporting performance beat Best Actor award. So he is the gold standard when it comes to sweep, when it comes to Oscar season. But Randolph is definitely not nickel plating 100%. She's going to prove once more why she should have this award. Now, that being said, I've heard great things about these performances. The ones I haven't seen, I'm not going to acknowledge Nyad. I just will not until I have to. Brooks is solid. The color purple. I'll throw a shout to AJ because he's not here. The apple of his eye, Emily Blunt, of course, is fantastic in Oppenheimer. And I've been championing America Ferrera since Real Women Have Curves, so I'm a big mark for her as well. So, and I also was one of the first people to say her in predicting, which I still don't know if I want to stick with or disappear from. I haven't quite decided yet. I might go back to it. We'll see. But yeah, this has been Randolph's award to win, and I don't think there's anybody that's going to beat her because there's no one that has visibility. There is no person that I'm seeing on this list that could beat her at this point. Feel free, prove me wrong, but I don't think there's a BAFTA shakeup here. I really don't. I think that this is it. Like AJ said, they seem to have it out for Blunt. So that's the only person I think that may have a chance to take her down. But, I mean, Julianne Moore's possible, but I guess we'll have to see. I think it's a Randolph sweep, and it continues along.
Then for supporting actor, we have Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, Charles Melton for May December, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things.
So I'll read AJ's verbatim as I have all night. Much as I want to see Downey sweep from here out, I'll try Gosling again.
Yeah, considering the demographics, I think this is more likely to be Gosling. I would say. So I will say that.
Depending on who votes, this could be a surprise win for Charles Melton, honestly. I would love Mark Ruffalo to win this. And, you know, just to stick it to everybody that keeps knocking him out, including everybody on the panel, De Niro winning this would be interesting too. Sterling K. Brown winning this to actually put him in the race in an already way too crowded race would be interesting. You know, honestly, I feel like I'm way too safe this time around. And I feel like I got burned hard at the Globes, and I wanted to play it really safe here, and I'm not really swinging for the fences on any of these, for the most part, being very neutral. Part of me wants to say Gosling, but I went with Downey. I guess my thought process is AJ can't say it, so I said it for him.
So then, for actress, we have Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall, Greta Lee for Past Lives, Kerry Mulligan for Maestro, Margot Robbie for Barbie, and Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Battle of the Stones, still, I'll say Gladstone.
I feel because this is the most likely to be acknowledged, because she is the crux point of the film, I will also say with Lily Gladstone.
I've been teetering on the Battle of the Stones for a while now, and although I feel this could be, well, it's more visibility for the movie and for her as well, and at this point, it may end up being she's the only one recognized for the film in the long run when we actually get to the big 8. I'm going to go with Gladstone here as well. But do not discount Emma Stone here. Honestly, do not discount Sandra Hula here. Especially if they like the film that much. And again, it's hard for me, of all people, to go against Carey Mulligan. But if this Maestro thing is going to break out, she's the one that's getting the praise that before even, and they mentioned anything about Cooper. So, especially from a performance standpoint, of course, not the fact that he directed the movie. But yeah, watch out for Carey here. But any of them could win. I mean, I like to see Margot Robbie win just to like piss everybody off and think she's not even in the competition. And technically speaking, if she wins, it doesn't matter because she's not necessarily in the competition, but it's that V word I keep throwing out every single year, visibility. It's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen.
So to lead actor, we have Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Leonardo DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon, Colman Domingo for Rustin,
Right.
Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction.
Okay. AJ says, not in any way ruling out Giamatti. I'll say Murphy.
I decided to give the edge to Giamatti.
Interesting.
I think in terms of like performance, that might be more the way to go. At least as it stands. You know,
I mean,
we've still got 6 weeks left, so.
I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with it happening. And again, I can't really say anything about Domingo, and I can't say anything about Jeffrey Wright definitively until Friday. But yeah, just like AJ said, this isn't Cooper's award to win this time around. Decap seems like he's kind of becoming an afterthought, and more people do their predictions. It's down to Cillian and Giamatti, and as much as I'd like to go with one, I'll go sideways in a different way and go with Cillian Murphy. Transformative performance in every way of the word. But I love Giamatti in The Holdovers. I greatly do. And if he would win this, again, I would not have a problem losing the point.
So, to director, where we have Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Gerwig for Barbie, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Alexander Payne for The Holdovers, and Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Nolan, Gerwig, Lanthimos, Scorsese. I can still imagine plenty. Scorsese has also done very well in Critics Awards. Again, not that that matters. I'll keep Nolan. Sorry in advance if I start jinxing him.
I'll give it to Gerwig.
I would be happy to lose the point to you, Ashley.
I don't know where it's fully going. Because the way I'm predicting for the rest of it sort of doesn't gel with other stuff, depending how it usually goes with critics. But I'm thinking that they might try and do something different. I don't know. So, but we'll see. But we'll get to that in a few minutes, though.
AJ's response on this actually is quite appropriate. Any of these 6 could possibly win. I think Payne's the outlier here, but then again, the weird thing is Holdovers is probably a lot more visible than Killers in the long run, but Killers still would get Gladstone to win. So I mean, that's huge visibility, especially being in the Big 8. Lanthimos is in this for sure. Cooper is always a challenger, especially if the critics love it as much as the general public seems to, and like the industry seems to love it, but we don't know that yet. It was down to Nolan and Gerwig, and it was always going to be. I feel like sickened having to go against Greta because I'm such a fan and love her work so much and have been on the Greta Gerwig train since before a lot of people knew who she was when she was doing stuff like Nights and Weekends. But at the end of the day, I can't doubt Nolan here, and I'm not going to. He finally gets his director Oscar. It's about time.
I wonder if do we have like a bunch of big like how they did to a Scorsese? They do the somewhat the equivalent for Nolan.
Possible.
And then for Best Picture, the 10 are American Fiction, Barbie, The Color Purple, The Holdovers, Kills the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and Saltburn.
Well, after Friday, there's only one movie on this list I have not seen. Most of these I've seen at least twice. And there is nothing on this list that I have a problem with being there. I mean, The Color Purple is probably the least strong of all of them, but, I mean, it was still a fun time, but I could think of other things that should be on there before. The Iron Claw. Needless to say, completely missed everything at Critics' Choice, but that doesn't matter. Again, it's Critics' Choice. AJ says, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to pick Barbie back up after the Globes beat down, but I'll stick with Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I have also gone with Oppenheimer, just because I think Gerwig getting the director nod is sort of the compensation for missing out on the big one.
You know, honestly, I'd like that, but I'd like it to be something a little bit more important than the Critics' Choice Best Director Award, please.
Well, no, I'm saying within the body of Critics' Choice.
Sure.
I'm not saying over the rest of the season, because I still think that's more wide open than some people may claim it is.
I think at this point it's pretty clear who the so-called frontrunners are, but I also think that it's pretty clear that there's still balloons, apparently.
Hell no.
I just literally saw balloons just come up into nowhere. I have no idea how that happened. Why? Okay, right on. You do you. Yeah, I'm going with Oppenheimer here. I want Past Lives to get into this race so I can see it theatrically. Because I'm still butthurt. The only time I saw it was on a plane to California. I love Saltburn. It's absolutely bad insane in all the best ways. I'm very excited for Maestro, and I hope it lives up to its essence as the second coming of Slumdog Millionaire. I love Killers. I love The Holdovers. The Color Purple is fine. I love Barbie. Can't wait to see American Fiction. This is not a bad lineup at all. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to the fact that there was a near 4-hour movie that did not put me to sleep. And kudos to Christopher Nolan. To the chat.
So, Parsnip has supporting actor for Downey Jr., supporting actress for Divine Joy Randolph, best actor Paul Giamatti, F. Bradley Cooper. Lose.
Tell that to the governing body.
That's why SAG could be interesting. Emma Stone for Best Actress, but would prefer Lily Gladstone. Best Director Nolan, and Best Picture Oppenheimer. Josie also says, with Color Purple performing, I wonder if, since Warner Brothers is pushing Barbie more, if they try and put America Ferrera over more than Danielle Brooks in the supporting category.
I wouldn't have a problem with that because I was the first person I'm aware of to say America Ferrera's name, and then everybody joined the train.
I think the Critics' Choice want to make headlines with Lily Gladstone. She's brilliant though, so I can't complain.
Neither can we.
I can see Hitman making next year's lineup of comedy at Critics' Choice. Which one's that? What's Hitman? I thought that was a video game.
Video game, Bret Hart.
What the hell is Hitman? No, I don't mean Hitman franchise. Or Hitman the film based on the video game. What is this? No, that's all. What the hell? There's no Hitman. Are we talking about the Richard Linklater film?
We're talking about Waltz's movie from Cannes?
I think we're talking Hitman that debuted at Venice, but still isn't on Netflix.
This is just fails.com.
Josie says, I agree in terms of Gladstone. She's brilliant. Hollywood does want a statement, but I think more with the Oscars and their history because they're sketchier people of colour being nominated or wins. Yeah, but it is a beefy performance. You know,
yeah.
There's some that would argue that she should get bigger billing than DiCaprio in the title.
Easily.
Rather than the other way around. Josie's saying that Oppenheimer was their favourite of Granson's score so far. Past it, prefer Black Panther. To be fair, Corden does suck. And his voiceovers are reading other writers' words. He isn't funny on his own merits. Watch Gavin and Stacey. That's why it's brilliant, because he wrote it originally, I think, intended as to be about Gavin and Stacey. And then it basically became about him and Nessa, i.e. the two writers of the thing, where that became the more interesting story rather than what was going on with Gavin and Stacey. In that respect, the writing is, he's very good at writing. But when he's sort of gone out of that, most of the other stuff he's done is sort of really been cringeworthy or just meh. Josie's saying, as much as I love chatting with you, I've got a sinus headache, so... Well, you can catch us on the archive.
Yeah,
whatever
feel better,
you missed out on.
I have a literal tornado watch outside the apartment right now, so I heard the loud rain during the show tonight. I'm surprised I'm still alive. So I get that the weather has been fluctuating from it was almost 75 today. It's going to be 45 tomorrow. Yay, globalwarming.com. I hate you. So does my body.
And in fact, Corden ranked number 2 as the worst voice acting of all time for Emoji Movie as High Five.
I have plausible deniability. I did not see that movie, and I never will.
Oh, Josie is now back. Cool. Head's starting to feel better.
Now we're taking it home, Josie. No worries.
So yeah, I'm trying to work out how I'm going to be able to see the CW. It was easier when it was TBS or TNT.
Tell me about it.
But we'll be here next Monday.
Yep.
To probably cover more of the awards rather than Chelsea Handler's job. Unless, Chelsea, when she's done this in the last year or two, she's done sort of like a 5-minute thing at the start, but then she's just humorous with the way that she introduces the people when she's told to introduce the people. So,
sure.
And then, of course, with how many awards we are, it's also going to be a case of Owen's going to watch the awards show and not note down the results, but just note down the awards that they're presented in the order. Because when it gets to the bits where it was also performed and also presented tonight, it's going to be 6 where you're going to have no time to type the winner. It's just going to be a case of, okay, here's TV special. Oh no, wait, he's won another one, right? So,
and it's the most unimportant awards to us that are the ones that get the visibility on screen. But it's like the most important stuff that we have to worry about. Oh no, that's
no. They always do one for the. They always do one for the film categories. You know, where costume and production design and all that just gets, even sometimes cinematography and editing, just gets put as an also mention rather than actually giving somebody an award on the stage.
Okay.
Parsnip says, have we got any anticipated movies this year? With Josie saying, so far mine are Dune 2, Furiosa, Kinds of Kindness, and Hitman.
Ashley, do you have any answers? Because I have a few.
Trying to think of it. I was trying to see what Kinds of Kindness. Bloody hell. Yorgos Lanthimos has been busy.
Do you have any off the top of your head? Because I'm going to list a few. I'm going through the calendar right now and tell you the ones I really want to see.
I'm going to have a quick look at the list of American films of 2024, even though not all of them are going to be American, but go ahead.
You want me to do it real quick?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's movies that I haven't seen yet for the 2023 award season, and I'm super excited about seeing all of us strangers in American fiction this week. Mean Girls looks great. I'm looking forward to Book of Clarence. Argyle, I'm tired of the trailer, but I feel like it's going to be fun. Lisa Frankenstein looks entertaining. The movie that I'm most excited about probably right now is Drive-Away Dolls. I've been waiting for this for almost 2 years now. So Ethan Coen's movie, which I'm very excited about. It's got Joey freaking Slotnick in it, which makes me happy, and my girl Margaret Qualley. So I'm super happy about that. If you look at the other movies coming out, I'm looking forward to Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. I'm looking at the calendar. The Fall Guy is intriguing to me because I watched the television show. It looks like it has absolute jack to do with the actual TV series at all. That is not Ryan Gosling. That is not Lee Majors. It is something in the middle. The Strangers Chapter 1 looks intriguing because I like the series. Inside Out 2 looks fun. Quiet Place Day 1 looks good. Let's see. I'm looking at Saw 11. Joker, of course. Can't wait for Joker. Let's see. Anything else I'm looking at? The Incredibles, apparently. Wicked looks fun. I've never seen a play. I have no anything on it. I am very interested to see how that's going to work out. And that's probably all I can say right now. There's probably like some sort of a Kevin Smith movie I'm not thinking about at this point. But yeah, I don't care about Dune. I don't care about Mad Max. So Planet of the Apes looks okay. And I don't care about the Rings either. So I'm really not the person you want going to your big budget blockbusters because I don't care. But yeah, Drive-Away Dolls is my most anticipated movie of 2023. 2024. I want to forget 2023 even exists. Yeah, 2024. Without question. I cannot wait for that movie.
I'm also intrigued by Argyle as to whether Matthew Vaughn can come back to form properly. Bob Marley One Love, having sort of seen like the TV version of the trailer during the Globe stuff, I'm intrigued by that, and it's a shame that it's a shame where that sort of release, sort of fell out.
I forgot about Challengers. Yeah, Challengers too.
Intrigued about the new Godzilla Kong film. It's got a lot of pressure now that Japan is making good Godzilla films as well. Just because Bill Nighy's in an Omen film, I'm intrigued. Probably just for that though, because it'd probably be crap. Challengers finally maybe seeing the light of day. Um, Also, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Can
Mm-hmm.
it deliver
Trailer.
without Andy Serkis? Um, Ballerina, because can we spin out spin-offs of John Wick? That'll be intriguing. Um, Bike Riders. I was really
Yeah,
looking
Bike
interested
Riders
to
is
that, and
fun.
that sort of went nowhere. Uh, Owen won't say this, but I'm intrigued to see what happens with Deadpool 3.
You have
Because
that.
I think with his humor, that might need the kick up the arse that Phase 5 needs right now to actually be popular.
If if I see the Dazzler scene drop on YouTube, I'll watch that. But Deadpool can just die in a fire.
Especially with, okay, it's Phase 5 adjacent, but the Craven the Hunter trailer looks so meh.
Yeah, it does.
Um,
Oh yeah, it does. Oh boy.
I'm intrigued as to what Transformers 1 is
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of deal. Joker, of course, just to see what we get there.
Should be fun.
Um, Red 1 from Dwayne, especially because, I heard that, probably from Grace Randolph, but it's probably true. A lot of the Christmas films get just put on streaming because they think that's where people want to watch them. I'd like to see a Christmas event. I mean, that they say that people don't go to the cinema to watch Christmas films. So why do they put on Elf every year and Die Hard and Love Actually? Those films that people want to see in a cinema. I okay. Um, and of course, right at the end of the year, and hopefully showing up in 12 months' time when we're doing all this, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That will be very fun. I haven't, and there's nothing from Rob Eggers that I haven't enjoyed, or in the case of basically everything apart from The Northman, loved. Um,
Um, I got a couple more as well.
mm-hmm.
Civil War, Alex Garland's new movie.
Yeah,
Love Lies Bleeding, the new Kristen Stewart movie.
and I guess technically, and I don't know whether this would be eligible. We'll find out whenever it is. We have the first new Wallace and Gromit film since Curse of the. Well, sorry, no, Matter of Loaf and Death. Okay,
Mm.
it'll be a sort of TV short, but I'd have thought it will probably show up in the Oscars as long as it's whenever it's eligible and wherever it's going to be put up for international audiences.
Barry Jenkins doing a Mufasa movie, apparently,
Mm-hmm.
and Sonic. Especially after the finish of Sonic 2, it should be interesting to see where we go from here.
But with that,
I think that might be the take on home. Yep.
Parsnip said Grace's voice gets on my ever-loving nerves. I don't even like Perry Nemiroff, but I'd choose her over Grace. The best critics I watch are Christy Lemire and Alonso Duralde. As I say, with Grace, it's only because she's sort of the only thing that I see on social medias that really covers like the numbers, like what does the well in the box office, and what Nielsen does with its ratings, and well,
Mm.
not Nielsen. Yeah, it is Nielsen. Where they're a month out of date, and Netflix and all that. And it gives me a good idea as to what's actually coming out in America, because half the time I don't know whether Wikipedia is accurate. Parsnip saying they just do a channel called Breakfast All Day, and they used to be on What the Flick, but did Breakfast All Day ever since it ended. I'm in their Patreon. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't go as far as Patreon any of these people. I just watch
I
what they
just
put out there.
I used to be a Patreon for Danhausen. I used to be one for Ethan Page, and I continue and always will be a Patreon for my good friends in the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. So,
yeah,
that's
we will be back, as I say, Monday to review all this.
yep,
And then next Tuesday, the predictions for all 23 major awards at the Academy Awards.
that's right.
And then literally the week after that as well, you'll get plenty of us as well, as we cover BAFTA long list and nomination coverage
On
together.
Sunday.
And the same for the Guild. Well, the PGAs, the DGAs, and SAG. The three guilds that fall within the pre-Oscar window, I guess. Although no doubt we'll probably bring up WGA in terms of probably in or around when we cover the guilds results, possibly for the other three.
That's going to be Monday.
And then Tuesday, the complicated matter of me going live on here because I have the capabilities of reacting to the stuff. Owen's and AJ's videos will go up ASAP as well. And then we'll convene in the evening to actually have a good old chinwag over what does or doesn't make it in.
That might be the end of the month, because I don't think we have anything the next week, do we? We get a week,
let me double check. Yeah, the first guilds aren't the DGAs till the 10th. The BAFTAs aren't until the 18th. The Spirits are the 25th, which I think is the same weekend as PGA and SAG. So I don't know whether we're just going to do a separate show for... It'd be weird to do a separate show for SAG because then again, if we cover the independent spirits afterwards, the complication with that is they'll probably be doing the PGAs at that same time. So we'll work out what it is closest to the time, but at least in terms of that respect, that sort of is what we'll be doing there. Oh, Parsip saying, I would be a patron for you guys if you ever had one. You're a good channel.
Thank you. Thank you, Parsnip-Burger. We appreciate your patronage. Whether the Patreonage or a literal patronage. The joke sounded funny in my head.
No, it always confused me. It's like, so I'm a patron of a Patreon, or I'm a Patreoner, or like...
Yeah. To be fair, we tried the Patreon idea, but it was hard because I couldn't come up with any tiers that made any sense. And then we were not able to give the daily. We gave the daily content, we still do, but we have to get like behind because like when Ashley's doing like Isaac runs, or AJ has complications with being able to see certain movies, or when I have extreme writer's lays and I just don't want to entertain. I just kind of want to just veg out and think about things. Needless to say, sometimes we don't want to half-ass this at all. If like we ever did a Patreon, it would be something that we would give back. I mean, we have Discord, which almost no one uses, but I mean, it's there, so it's there if you need it, if you want to use it. If you want to, we're not gonna beg for money, or we're not begging for subscribers or anything like that, or views or clicks or anything like that. We're just happy everybody wants to listen to us gab for a couple of hours, a couple times a week during award season. A lot more than that. And shout out to Christopher for showing up last night. He said he's been watching the channel since 2013. So you have literally seen me go from a whole person to what I am now. That feels good. I won't even lie.
So yeah, in terms of other stuff, tentatively AJ is doing a review. I don't want to say for tomorrow, for Wednesday, but I'd have thought within this week.
It's supposed to be tomorrow. Tentatively speaking, he's talking about Night Swim. That's the one I can remember off the top of my head. So yeah, he sat through it just like I did. That time we'll never get back. Needless to say, other things as well. Probably streaming movies that I'll never watch in a million years unless they run for something, which they won't. That video should be coming your way tomorrow, but tentatively tomorrow. So I'm not going to say for sure, especially with him not feeling well right now. Yeah. So hopefully get everything and be right as rain and be able to shoot those videos out. If not, you're getting more Ashley content, which honestly, it's been a breath of fresh air for the channel because gaming is not something that we really like hung our hat on in the past, but it's getting an audience. So yeah, more power to Ashley for
And
shooting.
for sure, you're getting one on Sunday because that is the next curated Isaac run that I'll be covering. Eventually, it might get to a point that I might just, if we're desperate for content, I might just show you what a not curated daily run looks like, depending how I feel, or if it's a character that's like I feel happy playing with, rather than the ones, or maybe I show you one that I'm not happy with and show you how I fail because I'm not good with them. Maybe
not
get some help.
We're desperate for content, but you finished the statement.
But you know, there's Contraband Police I can fall back onto. You know, a Henry Stickmin I can finish. You know, we can go through the other two Frog Detectives.
Power Wash.
Power Wash. They need to add content soon to it. But I think
very popular. I've noticed it on YouTube lately.
The Warhammer content is coming, so I might do sort of more videos on that because I've managed to work out the recording version to mean that my 1 hour files are not 5 gigabytes anymore, they're only 1. So much more manageable. So then if I did want to go long, I can. But then, of course, if I wanted to, I can just say, oh, today is an impromptu stream. You might not get much publicity.
Content, especially when we're kind of hurting right now.
You might not get much publicity for it being a live stream, but it'll be there on archive as the video for that day and whatever, so... And snack stashes. I might as well cover soon, if I manage to drink them first thing in the morning, the rest of the Prime canned energy drinks, because it seems like shops are discontinuing them because they realise, oh wait, us promoting stuff with caffeine in to children might not be a good thing. Especially with some of the things that I've heard of might have happened in Canada regarding that drink. But we'll talk about that off air. And I might bring it up on the video when it's appropriate. But yeah, you got plenty of stuff from me, you know, coming up. And of course the archives. You've got all the Popcast movie clubs. You've got the AJ's movie reviews. You know, if there's a film that you've got on TV or whatever and you're wondering what AJ thought of it, as long as it's come out the past 10 years, he's probably reviewed it for the regular movie reviews.
Most likely.
If it's beyond the 10 movie years, it might be in Versus.
Yep.
Or in Movie Club. Who knows?
There's the Speaking Bluntly series, if you like Emily Blunt and all that content.
Yeah, the William Hurt stuff.
That's very popular.
The Tarantino stuff.
Stephen King.
Plenty of seasons of stuff that you can catch up on.
All in a great playlist, so it's very easy to find.
You can even catch up with this. Look back at previous award seasons and how right or wrong we were. And you therefore understand the jokes about Roger fucking Deakins and Diane motherfucking Warren.
And understand what I do when I make my little fly references that most of you don't catch because I do it for a reason.
So yeah, in terms of socials, I can't do the AJ thing because he's not here.
I got this. Don't worry. Go ahead.
I can be found on Twitter, X, at AshIsMyNameUK. Owen can be found at Sir Owen Disney. And there is the Popcast Network account as well.
So, I'll do it.
Okay.
So, real quick, every single video that we do on here, Popcast, content, whatever it is, I will tweet out on my Twitter at Sir Owen Disney, so you can always know it's there. So it's always going to be promoted one way, shape, or form. AJ is not here tonight, and he would like to be, even though he does not like this award ceremony. And unlike Keith Richards, he's still not going to be doing this in 5 years. Yep. Didn't work either. But hey, that's just a theory, a Popcast Network theory.
So, with that being said, thank you for watching, listening. Until next time, everybody, boys and girls, and apparently glittery frogs. That's all we got to say about that.